What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up, everybody? Today is May 20th for me, the 21st for you. I don't know what day number this is on quarantine. I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know. Giant thank you to all of you tuning in because this is the last Thruline episode. I gave it a go. January, February, March, April, May. 17 months. 17 months. That's not bad. I said I would do one. I would go to the end of the month, but I just don't have I don't have it, guys. I don't have it. Just don't have it. But I want to tell you how much I love all of you, and I appreciate all of you that listened for this long and hung by me, stuck with me. A big thank you to my boy Skylar Neal, who has produced and engineered every episode of this podcast and made every video and helped me make the videos that I could put on Instagram and social media. And thank you all for having watched the special and shared the special and told people about the podcast or the whatever it is that you did. You guys, it means a lot to me. I don't have it in me. I'm being drained of my ability to continue. Butterfly went by. My mom would be like, "There's your Nana." Anyway, JayLarsonComedy.com, Jay Larson Comedy on Instagram and Twitter and all that. I got an email here from the Advice Queen. Advice Queen. I love that's your email. Really enjoyed the Thruline. Thanks for your hard work. I wish you and your family success and happiness. I appreciate you, Emily. If possible, I'd be interested in hearing about your decision to stop drinking and what that's been like. It's something I think about myself, and I would enjoy your perspective. Here's the deal. I think sometimes, I didn't stop because I felt like I had a problem. I just stopped because I wanted to get some focus. That's what I was hoping. I was like, well, if I quit drinking, maybe I'm going to focus and be able to have more clarity, stuff like that. I wasn't drinking every day. When I was drinking, I wasn't drinking till I was drunk. In fact, I don't know what legally drunk is. I don't think I was, I don't know. I don't even know what that number would be. Is it well, if you blow a .06, technically you drunk? I don't know. I just know that I wasn't belligerent or forgetting stuff or anything like that. We'd go out to this Mexican restaurant we like, and I get a couple skinny mugs, okay, or I get a mug and a beer, or I had stopped. My wife likes white wine. I like red wine. I would drink white wine with her once in a while, but at home, I stopped drinking red wine because it was just I'm not going to open a bottle because then I feel well, I don't want to waste the money, so then I'm going to have to drink it the next night. So now, and tomorrow, this Friday, tomorrow for you guys, is 19 months, right? August, October, November, January, March, April, May. No. 21 months. And, I'll be honest with you. Now, once you get past that 3-month mark of not drinking, then you're like, oh, all right. You start getting super clear. You're like, oh man, I was focused. I could see the difference. Then it just settles in and just becomes your norm. After a year and a half, it just becomes your norm. You just don't drink anymore. During this quarantine, I've been drinking a lot of non-alcoholic beers, and I really like it. They're not terrible. You're like, oh, it just tastes like I'm having a beer. Because then it becomes a taste thing, I've had friends make me cocktails. I've gone to this, before the quarantine, my wife and I went to this I forget, I don't know what kind of food it is. It's I don't know what the type of the food is, but it's Mediterranean or South American or something. And they had grapefruit soda, which is now I'm drinking this 0-calorie grapefruit soda, grapefruit citrus Sevia. But grapefruit soda is my new jam, that Italian grapefruit soda. Oh, it's the best. So I look at I'll go out places and I look for their non-alcoholic drinks, and it just becomes a treat. It's you're just getting some sugar. So I do that. What else? like I said, friends have those drinks. So I think at some point I'm like, I think I'll go back probably, maybe, because like there's some things I miss. I do miss red wine, and it's like there is that element of the not so much like peer pressure to drink, but there is that social element where everyone's drinking. That's why a non-alc beer is nice or whatever. So I don't feel like pressure to go back, and I enjoy non-alcoholic beers. So I think if it's something that you're like, I want to try out, then say to yourself, all right, let me try for 3 months. Or start with a month. Some people like to go January, the month of January, they go dry. Or when is it that like all those other guys do it? October or something like that? Sober October? No idea. You got to just figure out what it is that like works for you or is the thing that you want. So there's that. Yeah, I would think about it. But I definitely recommend it. I definitely have enjoyed it. And now it's to the point where it's just like, oh, it's just what it is. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. I got another email. You, sir, are a great storyteller. I appreciate that, Mike. Your stories and commentaries are cozy as F. I can see you on a radio show, loosely talk about the news. I feel like I would love that. Morning drive. You know what my dream is? My dream is like moving to like a small little city, like a Portland, Oregon, or a Cincinnati, Ohio, or something like that, and just like doing like either like an 11 a.m. news like show on the local channel, or like a 4 p.m. show where like you have like, there's a lot of people with dogs. I have no idea. Anytime I go to like towns and I have to go do like TV, like a press, you go do like shows like that. I always see the environment. I'm like, God, I like this. I like small town, but I just don't think I'm ready to. You got to like make a choice that like that's what you want to do, and it's just not that choice that I want to do. Maybe a late night show. Also, he says, I don't think you belong in California either. I guess people think California is communist. I guess that's what it is. What is this? What is this, the 50s? Get the fuck out. How many movies are you really going to be in the next 5 years? Have you ever been to Southern California, Mike? You know it's like the most beautiful weather. Every single day is insane. You have mountains, you have beach, you have desert, you have snow. What else do you need? You have lakes, you have rivers, white water rafting. What else do you need? Have you ever been to Northern California? There's Northern California. Have you ever been to San Diego, dude? It's unbelievable. Maybe you're just talking about Los Angeles, I really don't know. But here's the funniest thing. He says, Nick Dip did it, who is another comedian who I'm not a fan of at all. Like, dude, do your research. I appreciate you listening to the podcast, man. And obviously you're telling me, you're making jokes at me so we can talk like this. But let me tell you something that you might not know about me. I'm blue collar. You asked, what are the differences between California and the East Coast? It's been so long since I've lived on the East Coast. I think everyone's pretty upfront, like where I grew up. People used to always ask me, like, were you the funniest kid growing up? I'm like, nah. There was like so many dudes funnier than me. Here, everyone's kind of chill and laid back, and like everyone just jabs back east. And out here, people don't really jab like that. And the difference between, I think, West Coast comedians and East Coast is West Coast comedians, I think, are more storytelling than East Coast. I feel like East Coast, there's so many great joke writers in New York. So many great joke writers. I've never been a joke writer. I just feel like I just tell stories, and if I can get jokes in there, it's something I would do. But I honestly... Come to Georgia. Come to Georgia. You know the state where a black guy went for a run and then white dudes chased him and murdered him? That's where you want me to go, dude? Let me tell you, I love Atlanta. I love Atlanta because it's the most diverse city I've ever been in. And it makes me feel at home when I'm there. But I would not just move to Georgia because Nick Dip did it. The guy who is blatantly not afraid to say racist and homophobic stuff that I cannot stand. I just can't stand him. I did a show with him once. I'm not going to tell you his name. If you want to find him, you can find him. And Michael, I appreciate that you listen to my podcast, dude. I hope you're not taking this as a personal offense, but I don't think that dude is good over any space, like, and I've only worked with him once, and he wasn't like super polite to me. And the show that I watched him put on was, I just would never ever talk like that, and I couldn't believe it. So for me, like, the fact that he moved there would be the reason that I wouldn't move there. I'd be like, oh well, yeah, if that dude's moving there, I want nothing to do with it. This is not who I am. And I never like looked at myself as like a Republican or a Democrat. I think that like I grew up very blue collar, like we worked hard, even though my mother was super into the arts, so she would constantly tell us about the arts, and I feel like we always leaned Democratic because my mom was so into the arts, and like that just seems. Although if you look back, like if I remember one time I was like, well, how did the Republican Party start? So I started looking at it, and I was like, oh man, I love the values of what like the Republican Party was. And now that like I'm older, it just always seems like it comes down to like Republicans want less tax, and less government. They want things to be decided, through other people outside of the government telling us what to do, less government regulation, laissez-faire. And then, liberals or the left, Democrats, they want more restrictions so that like these corporate companies can't do these things. I think there's just all this miscommunication. I never really see myself that way. I just always look like I always want us to take care of our fellow man, and I just keep looking at like our society, and I'm like, God, what is going on, man? What is going on? Like, we're not taking care of anybody, we're trying, people are trying. There's like all these things that are going on. Who knows? I don't really want to get in this. I try not to think about it. I try not to think of myself as like a Democrat or a Republican. I just try to think of myself as, right now, to be honest with you, during this whole thing, I'm just trying to do the best I can. And I'm just trying to like keep up, my space and myself, which, I don't know. So anyway, I don't see myself, and he said, tell us about the awkwardness of owning or selling podcast equipment not going to use anymore. Little smiley face. Nothing really awkward at all, dude. It's a microphone, a cord, and a recording machine. And I'll definitely hold on to it because I hope someday that I'll do something else. Just for now, it's like time to take a break. And I'm hoping that, like, the whole world's starting, the country's starting to open up again. Texas is opening this week, doing like bars will be open at 25%. Florida's got places open. Arizona, where you can go into restaurants. The tables will be spread apart. You order from your phone. You have a mask. I hope everyone's safe. Who knows? I would love for this thing to like come to a close. And if these are the first steps, I hope that I hope we see a good I don't know, projection of the number. Why do I even try and talk? This is like, why are people even talking technical terms? If you don't know it, Jay, shut up. What I'm hoping is I hope the numbers continue to go down and that we start like just going in a direction of not continuing to rise numbers, and then we can start slowly getting back, because I don't know, this whole thing is so weird looking. But obviously, I don't have a lot that I can even say, you guys. I love you for those of you that have listened and pay attention and share and communicate and participate in this. And I'll continue at some point to get more active on social media with like similar things to like I did here. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm going to take a little break from everything for a little while. And I love you all. I appreciate you all for listening. It's been great to have you on board the Thruline. And I hope that whatever it is that I do next, that you will participate in that as well. Stay healthy, everybody. Love you.